Welcome back. According to media reports, a traditional ruler in Lagos State, Baale Abib Lawal, who heads Ikolalumo in Miron Ajasa area, brutally assaulted his wife Olori Abosede over a phone conversation she had on the New Year's Day. The Baale hit her several times with a chair and stabbed her with a broken bottle, allegedly. Though the Baale was arrested, he has since been released on bail, and investigations into the matter has begun. If this is true, should a man really beat his wife for any reason? It's your view, let it count. You can call us on 070-8066-8014, or you could tweet to us at YOURVIEW TVC. All right, there are two sides to this story, so let us not act as if we're only taking the woman's side. The woman's side said, the lady saying that, oh, I was on the phone, he told me to stop a bit, to reduce the to talk lower, I thought, I didn't know he was, wait, what was it again?
She didn't know.
She toned down her voice.
He said he was, I mean, the signal he gave her was to tone down her voice.
Yes.
But she didn't know that.
Didn't know. The signal was to keep quiet,
keep
stop
quiet.
talking. And then
but she now thought it was lower voice.
So she lowered her voice.
Then the man took a chair, beat her up several times, used a glass to stab her. Threw a chair at her. That's her story.
But the
man's story is that he was the one on the phone, right? He was on the call. His mother was next to him. The woman came in to come and greet the mother. While she was talking to the mother, he was telling her, I'm on a very, very important call, as in lower your voice. She didn't listen to him. He now took a plastic chair, threw it at her. But we didn't realize that the thing hit her so bad and hurt her a bit. Then while she was trying to calm her down, you know, she got angry. While she was trying to calm her down, she kind of got her the sliding door glass, whatever, stabbed her in the back. Now she's saying that it is him. So there are two sides. So who was using the phone call now? Is the mother will now tell us, because they call the mother testify. Who was on the phone? The husband or the wife?
She was the husband's mother now.
Of course.
Now.
So
what do you think she will say?
She'll be truthful. Truthful to herself.
I hear you.
But wait, was it Obama that he was talking to on the phone? If you want to take his own story.
With all due respect.
Hold on.
With all due respect.
Kind of
with all due respect.
No,
it could be very important. You're a businesswoman. Yes. Somebody sending you materials.
Somebody is on the phone. Is that enough reason for you to pick up something and throw on at that person? It's not enough reason, but there are important phone calls. Besides, I would take the woman's side. I like her story.
Listen, there are some lousy women. Let me tell you, these are Yoruba people. They are lousy. How they do this job? There's a way you greet they do this severity. Like this, keep quiet. And if you know it now, maybe it's wrong for him to carry a chair through, but this overzealous behavior that we do.
Because if she does not greet the mother tomorrow, he's the same person that will say that you saw my mother and you did not greet my mother. So it is not, it's not enough.
I hate to, but he could have walked away. He's a mobile phone, I'm sure. Should have just walked away to a quiet corner and make his
that's
call.
Us going by his own story, not her own story. Her own story, like she was the one on the phone.
His own story is what I'm saying now.
Okay, his
own
own
story.
Have
just taken he was on the phone, a mobile GSM phone. Walk away to a quiet corner and finish your call. You know, leave trouble. We know these women, they have all their case.
Now.
The proper thing a strong man would do, avoid the trouble, walk out.
I like that. A strong man would avoid the trouble.
But then a Baale would demand that this is my
now.
I beg, carry your noise away.
Exactly.
The woman does not conform. Olden days, they will bring the gas to
He's a Baale. Thank you for reminding me that part. That he's a Baale. I think I have a call. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, Hakim.
Yes. This is my fourth time calling on this program.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
I'm looking at you right away. The truth of the matter is truly the woman will make you angry. But if you are a man enough, you should be able to handle their cases. No matter what it is. I have a woman at home. When she gets me, it made me angry. I wear my shirt and leave the house. In the next 30 minutes, 1 hour, go. Even if she wanted to keep married to me, with me, I try to calm her down. No matter what, woman will make you get angry. So we just have to calm ourselves. Not even for a parent to do such things. People living in the community shouldn't be kind of examples of the people.
I'm having trouble hearing him.
That is what my own.
Nima, did you hear him?
Yes, he's saying that you should be able, that the proper thing, women have their tantrums and all that, but you should be able to calm her down, you know, take control of the situation, or avoid trouble rather than. He's also
but if we put the woman's story as the case study instead of the man's story,
I think I want to believe the woman more, her own story more.
How is that possible? I don't know. How you probably believe in her own story? But go ahead.
I don't believe the part that she didn't understand what he was saying, signaling her to lower her voice.
How can somebody throw your phone, throw a chair, just because you're on the phone? And it's like, come on. It makes a bit more sense if he's on the phone, an important call.
Hold on now.
Yeah.
But you see, the angle that Nima brought up, and she said that the man is a ballet. Of course, you want to sit down. I think in the school of royalty, I mean, there are some kind of decorum that every royal personnel should, exude. You understand? So for that one, picking up a chair and throwing it at someone, I don't think that it was the right thing. Besides, like I said, I will still stand by the woman's story. You know, he broke a bottle. This one, it wasn't
That's her own story.
Yes, from my own story. He broke a bottle and used it to stab her. Of
because
course,
his own story is that she walked through a glass door.
How can she walk through a glass door?
His story, let me stay slowly.
Let me take the call from Kemi first. Right. Good morning, Kemi. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mariah. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, ladies. Auntie Amy, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, wow, ever looking sweet.
Thank you.
Mariah, one thing with men of today is that I don't know the problem really. Is it that the economy problem, financial problem, is it the stress at work that is making them to become so violent today? Any little thing, the next thing you see is eating.
Yeah.
A friend of mine is being hospitalized today.
Okay.
Because she was beaten up yesterday. She came in home late, and the husband locked up the door, saying it's either she picked the marriage or she picked a home. This is a woman that is earning close to $1 million and supporting the man all the way. Oh. She was beaten up blue, black. The ballet, if a man that cannot control his wife, how will he be able to control the community he's ruling on?
Thank you.
I believe that woman solemnly.
Thank you.
I think that man is just fabricating that life. He should be locked up and be derobed from being a ballet of that community no matter what. It should be a kind of example for men.
You're right.
If you love your wife, don't hit.
Yeah.
Just like what the first caller said, pick your shirt, go, or go into a room and lock up.
Yeah.
Then women too, we need to be a little bit calm too. We should be able at least show a little bit of respect for a man.
Yes.
If the man says, keep low, tell mama, I'll be back.
Thank you so much, Kemi. I think your story obviously reminds us of the reality on ground. Yes, we can trivialize it and say, okay, whose story are we believing? But the truth is that somebody was beat up, regardless of what happened.
And he had no right.
He had no right. He had absolutely no right to beat up that woman.
He can be ballet, he can be president, he can be anything.
He shouldn't have beat her up. Because that's wrong to project, to make anybody feel that it's okay to throw a chair at anybody. That's very wrong. I think I appreciate Kemi's call.
On Twitter that Mariah and Mary Eustace says, Mariah, you are disappointing me. No matter how important the call was, there's no justification in throwing a chair.
I totally agree. There's absolutely no justification. I mean, what I was just trying to understand was whose story are we believing? Yeah. That's not because I was saying it was okay. I was trying to say that it made a bit more sense where he was on the call and maybe that's why I was angry. Not because I was saying it's right. So absolutely it's not right. Yes, YK.
Yeah, because I want to just say, beating anybody, whether it is a child, another man, any other human being, physical violence is never the answer.
Okay, let me take Amide's call. Amide from Agege.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, actually, I think there are so many things that affect the relationship. First of all, ballet, their area, they can be so as the wife, the husband, they will not be patient in putting things together. So I think in that, our own situation is the point.
Okay. Well, I didn't get the point he made.
He said that it could be the local influence, the environment where they live. As a ballet, they're always involved in all these things, and the wife should have understood.
But like Giwa says on Twitter that traditional. Okay, sorry.
Sorry, I just wanted to say it amazes me how Nima hears, even as her ears are covered.
But like Giwa says, traditional rulers are like leaders. They should lay good example. They should control their anger. you know, because I mean you are leading your own household and this kind of thing is happening. It tells you that when violence
happen in your community, you're going to just beat them up or lock them up.
I mean, it's a normal thing.
Exactly. And you know, these chiefs, they're supposed to carry themselves with
some
decorum, you know, and you know, be like above all that kind of physical.
It's not.
But let me take this tweet. Hassan Sise Shamsu says, Auntie Maria, Auntie, and it's very difficult to believe in a husband and wife history when it's time of such issues. It could be that I want to try to understand what is happening. That the woman, like he said, the man said in the report that she had this history of being a troublesome person. You know, you keep provoking the person to the extent that.
But you know what I've noticed? Sorry to cut you off,
to this kind
a
of
lot
things.
of men say their wives are troublesome.
That's it.
It's like normal. No matter every small sentence you say.
No, he made an example. He said he had there are 2 wives and she is the most troublesome. She never wants to see him with any other wife and all that. He's a ballet. He's a traditionalist.
He had
2 left.
2 left him.
Maybe he has beaten them out of.
They should go and
Maybe he has beaten them out of.
I don't want to talk about the 2 that left. The 2 that are at home is what I want to talk about.
We'll talk about
If the woman cannot stand, he's a ballet.
Odin, the 2 wives leave you. There's a reason.
There's something that
Odin, the 2 wives.
He has beaten them out of leave. Anything.
Those ones don't take it anymore. And they ran away.
No,
if this woman knows that she's in a polygamous marriage and then she's troublesome because of it, then there are issues. He's a traditional man. There is no ballet. I've not seen the ballet that has 1 wife.
Do you know I don't even believe that story, Nima? Because for her to marry a ballet, she knows that she cannot be the only wife. For her to have agreed to marry the ballet.
But then, even if she's the only wife, she can continue to foment trouble to say that they will not have peace in this house as long as, you know, somebody is there's another wife in this house.
Anyways, my own is just he's Habib Lawal. Remember his name is Habib Lawal.
I know how to step aside when trouble comes.
No problem. All right. Point is that violence. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Let me tell you.
Ilogwe says the investigation must establish if it is the first time. Also, I learned that the man has other wives he divorced. So it's the same thing she's saying.
All right.
They should check. They should investigate the matter.
Generally, I think
men should stop beating up their wives. They are not punching bags.
Yes.
Honestly, because you see, they can't talk over her. They keep making excuses that women are they are too troublesome. You should know that women are emotional beings. So whatever it is, if you cannot handle it, walk away from the house. When you are calm, you can come back and settle the matter.
Okay. Can I take tweets that suppose the Entertainment Diary says women should by all means try not to provoke men. They are beasts, and I blame the ballet's wife. She should have toned it down. This is someone else that has read the story too.
I beg, tone it down, Bao. Anyway,
so you support that women should just start?
No, women should tone it down actually, but
yes, now.
You see, they're always quick to blaming us. There is always us. Men too should also tone themselves down.
Him. Have you seen some of them are blaming themselves.
All right, let's take a quick break because it's not Thursday, right? So we can. Thursday would have been gisting. All right, stay with us. When we come back, there's a growing concern over the increasing incidence of fire outbreaks in Lagos State. How can we contain this, especially in this Harmattan season? I'm hearing this because of Harmattan. We'll find out how true this is when we come back after the break. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Fire incidents in Lagos State are becoming very rampant, destroying lives and properties. The Lagos State Fire Service revealed that it recorded 48 emergency calls within the first 5 days of the new year, of which 44 of the calls were on fire outbreaks and the remaining 4 were false alerts. Why are there so many fire incidents recently? How can we prevent them? Joining us is Director General of the Lagos State Safety Commission, Mrs. Omolara Odebunmi, and the Head of Operations, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Mr. Femi Giwa. Welcome to the show, sir, and madam.
Good morning. So much. Good morning.
As you know, recently, fire incidents here and there, even in the recent past. And the recent excuse is, it's because of the Harmattan. Before it was, it's because of the Christmas time of the bangers and all that. Different reasons. Why are we having so many fire incidents in recent times? Let me start with you, ma.
Well, certainly there is no excuse to accommodating hazards, really. And the origin of any of such thing is just really how well or how much of hazards and how much of bad practice are we allowing amongst ourselves. So really, the incidences of fire at any time, there are three things that will bring fire. And we have said this from time to time and time, both on local channels and local language channels, you know, the Yoruba, the Pidgin, the English. The government has made quite a number of bulletins, flyers to enlighten. We recently, just even on Saturday, just this very Saturday, took to streets over 120 safety advocates to actually sensitize people on how to prevent fire, especially this Harmattan season.
What exactly is in Harmattan that causes this fire? What exactly is because I don't understand it. What exactly is that recipe that causes fire with Harmattan?
Well, there are two major seasons that we have in Nigeria. Yeah. Just like every country has their own peculiar seasons. Yes. Ours is either the wet season or the dry season. Okay. So naturally, during the wet season, we expect a bit of flood and all that. The government has tackled that. Likewise, the dry season. The dry season is when the Harmattan period comes. Now, the funny thing that has happened recently is that normally it will normally start early from about December. But due to climate change, it's moving, just like everybody all over the world are experiencing climate change. Yeah. So we are also experiencing a climate change, and that's part of it, which means the Harmattan season is it's changed a little bit, and it's probably going to be longer.
Yes, extended longer than usual.
Yes, it will be slightly longer. Now, what is actually the cause to it? It is a drier season. There is less moisture, and it brings, you know, there's a wind that blows towards the North Arctics that comes towards this way. So it will bring dust. Yeah. It will bring a bit of harshness as well. But you know, the funny thing is, it cools. It gives a cool environment sometimes. I mean, I particularly like Harmattan season because it's cool. You don't sweat as much. Yes. You know, it's only natural.
That's because it's dry and it's very hot in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's freezing in the afternoon, but the sun will burn you. But I want to ask, how come the fire service always seems to get there too late to stop?
Although I heard that the last one in the Balogun, they came pretty early. Yeah. I heard the one what happened in the Balogun recently.
But when I read in the papers today, all of them were saying, one was blaming the local government chairman, saying it's because of him the fire service came late. And all their...
I think I need to add.
There is a structure in the government, you know, which commands, you know, there's a command structure, there's a response structure. So, and I'm sure the emergency will tell us more about how the response is on the local level.
Well, thank you so much. You see, when we have incidents of emergency or disaster, you know, people are bound to say a lot of things, but then we must be able to come to that realization that the Lagos State government has one of the most firm structure in the country today. Like the Director General said, we have a command structure, and the command structure works on the basis of communication. Now, if you have an emergency, regardless of that locality, because based on the IOGO framework of action, it is believed that when an emergency or disaster occurs, it is those that are at the local level that are mostly affected. So the state decided to design a structure such that we have a free communication line. We have the 767 or 112 emergency toll-free line. The moment you put up that call, it gets to our command center. And at the command center, they process these calls. Once they process the data, and it is escalated to all emergency responding agencies that are domiciled in the at the command center. And then each of the emergency responding agency has what we call an internal dispatch protocol. For example, okay, there is fire incidents, we have the closest fire station to that particular vicinity. But we must appreciate the fact that, you know, there are a lot of logistics, there are a lot of challenges for a fire truck to move from one point to the point where we have that incident. You would have to surmount some challenges. And then we have this behavioral pattern of people who would not want to. Oftentimes they blow siren and then people are just shouting and clamoring, where are you going to? So these are challenges. And then if I'll get back to what you really said, that some people said, no, the emergency response was swift. The firefighters got to the scene of incidents in less than 15 minutes. They were there. Because we have a fire station, domicile at the island, and they were there. And they were joined by a whole other fire station, even from the central point, from Alausa, they were all there because of the enormity of the fire. But then the challenges, one of the challenges we had.
Let's know the challenges.
One of the challenges was that you look at the fact that when they were there, most of, we had a lot of illegal shops, containerized cake lamps. Yeah. And then for most of these firefighters to gain access to where this,
the sources,
especially where the IFAN actually started, that's number 42. It was so enormous until we brought in our heavy duty equipment and we were able to do that, and then we were able to create access for them to use their sky lift and combat the fire.
I must commend you guys because I had a fire in my house, I think in 2012, and there was quick response. If not for the quick response, they contained it just within our bedroom. So for the response, they respond quickly. But the problem I have, especially because I was listening to and I watched the Balogun saga, do you guys now go, because it's beyond the solutions, rather. It's beyond saying that quick response to fire. We want to prevent it so that it doesn't even happen.
Absolutely.
Now, do you go now as you? Have you taken out time to say you want to go to all these markets, all these clusters,
we do that.
to do a proper report and send it to the government? And have they responded?
Who is the government? We are all the government. So really, and like I said, that we took about 120 safety advocates to the streets. Yes. And so we just have to increase this momentum within the market structure.
No, it's not even
we
about
have enlightened,
but it's to actually pull down those illegal structures, because you know why? When there's a cluster like that and fire sparks up here,
but you can't pull down without giving them a solution to. You can't pull you down.
Saying.
I need to find you another place to.
Another place to stay. That's what I'm saying.
Let me respond to that.
It means us writing a report.
Let me quickly respond to that. Suffice to say that in emergency management, people focus more on response. Okay. But in emergency management, we are about to call the fourth circle of emergency management. We are about to call the emergency mitigation and prevention. We have what we call the emergency preparedness. We have what we call the emergency response, and then we have what we call the emergency or disaster recovery. But your level of preparedness actually determines your response. Your response capability is a function of how much preparedness you have done. And like the DG rightly said, the state has a structure, and one of the structures from time to time, we do that. Almost all arms, all agencies, emergency responding agency in the state do that. We have different programs for emergency mitigation and prevention and emergency preparedness. We, from time to time, will sensitize the people. The Ministry of the Environment are there. We all do this. We do that through the print and electronic media, and we do what we even call one-on-one canvassing. We talk to people. But the challenge we have right now is that there must be a paradigm. There must be a shift. Yes. People need to, take emergency response.
The DG is here concerning safety. You see, now at this point, what rightly said, these structures have been done illegally. Yeah. We've all gone to Balogun market. We've all gone to Iponri. We know how everything is done. It's hard for you to really do a 360 and displace them immediately. That's now, correct. What kind of safety measures are you putting in place to even with the haphazard way it's done?
Exactly.
What do we do to make them more safer?
Well, first of all, I mean, the solution is actually relocating. Because really you need to remove what is causing the hazard, which is clusters. When you're having clusters and you're preventing access, then you've already increased your hazard, the risk around yourself. So the government has actually they are addressing that. And like you said, that it cannot come within 24 hours. We had the Makoko one. Now there's some marketers that are being moved. Yes, they do show. We have some of them that are being relocated. It is a gradual process. Some are being relocated to Gondo, some are relocated to various needs, and it does take time. But whilst they are still there, lives must be protected. Yes. Their properties must be protected. There must be sanity. And one of the things we're encouraging people to do is to make sure that they nominate within their own community you know, little advocates that will constantly go around and check and see that this was what the government said we shouldn't put it. Why? Somebody even told us on some of these this incident that this woman is fond of lighting candles in her shop, saying that she wants to pray or she wants to use it to light. When people see that the government has various arms of the government that can deal with issues, call the Safety Commission. We would access that kind of person and either stop it, because we have to stop it from the roots.
Yes.
Either stop it or find a way to prosecute the person. Why wait until there is a disaster? And then you are not out screaming that this person has always put candle low.
No, it's not candles now.
Electrical.
This roadside burning that we see all the time. You know, this is Harmattan season and it's all dusty and windy. And then somebody is burning by the road. It causes a lot of car accidents because people can't see what is in front of them.
Absolutely.
What do you do?
And also brings pollution into the air.
And I want to know sanctions, you know, because all the time you see these things on
I think it's more of the sanctions, because right now we've worked with LASEMA because we have to look at a law that would enable prosecution, proper prosecution or sanctions. Otherwise, I mean, if you allow that to go on, people might.
Because one from Alaba. Good morning, Alaba.
Good morning, madam.
Morning. Go ahead.
I wanted to. You are doing a wonderful job there.
Thank you, sir.
I wanted to ask a question with what is on ground now. Is there any mutual, well-organized arrangement between the firefighters and the National Orientation Agency? Because I believe our people need to be orientated with what exactly is going on in every time. So most of our people did not know what if during Harmattan season, Harmattan too as fire to come up early. So is there any mutual
let Mr. Giwa answer that question for us.
I think we need to give that man a round of applause. That's a very beautiful question. Yes, we have mutual relationship. In emergency management, we talk about collaboration and inter-stakeholder linkages. Usually, we have what we call the primary responders and the secondary responders, depending on the peculiarity and the nature of that incident. It's not all the emergency responders you find at the scene of an incident. There are some that will work on the background, even before an emergency comes up. And that's why we have collaboration with the National Emergency Management Agency, even the National Orientation Agency, and then various print and electronic media. We come together from time to time. We are what to call the quarterly stakeholders meeting to review the various forms of emergencies, the risk hazard, and the vulnerability. And from time to time, for example, before the period of flood, NIMET, of course, being one of our stakeholders, will come, make projections and tell you this is what the rainfall pattern will be, and then these are areas that will be vulnerable. And then we work with various print and electronic media and various agencies that are saddled with the statutory responsibility of disseminating information, so that we'll give these people there's what we call early warning system. The early warning system is to forewarn them. You need to move away from here.
In the flood one, I got text messages and all that. During Ebola, you got text.
You remember this warning? People still, it's not going to happen.
No,
we just jettisoned very crucial information.
This one, I don't know how much. Maybe we need to do a bit more, because during Ebola, during the flood one, I know everybody got that information.
We certainly need to do it.
Sensitization.
No doubt about
sensitization must always be on a continuum. Because we have to keep doing that.
Especially with fire. Fire is so, it's so final. Yeah. When the fire comes, it's final. Everything goes. Yes, so. Like my own establishment, for instance, I always make sure we have fire extinguishers. Okay. What are you doing about telling, because these marketplaces, they seem to be the people that keep getting, every single shop should have fire extinguishers.
We have what we call the local emergency management committee. The agency has gone a step ahead. Like I was talking about the ERGO framework of action. And the essence of that framework is that disaster management at every level must be taken to the local level. Yes. You must empower. You must increase their capacity. You must be able to build them. There must be information dissemination. You must be able to train them. That we have done. And all over the market today in Lagos State, we have constituted what we call the local, the Market Emergency Management Committee, where the market, the Iyaloja and the Babaloja are the incident commanders. Yes. And from time to time, we keep sensitizing them.
Let me take this call from Biola. Good morning, Biola. Are you there?
Good morning.
Biola, please go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Please, what I really want to say about this fire incident is, we know this time of Ramadan, fire. I was there to witness it. I've been there 4 o'clock when the fire started. But there are some things we want the state to let people know, especially these some guys that they use privileges, the extensions they make. Because when the fire, when they come, there was no way they could go in. But you will see people, they will put counters, use iron. They were using cutlasses to cut the places so that the firefighters reach the place.
Access.
Yes.
Access.
Yes. Yeah. We got some
If
complaints.
the extensions are not there, the state should make sure the money, they should stop extensions from everywhere.
Well, I think I heard a bit, but even hoodlums, were obstructing them. Hoodlums were asking and preventing press people and in the trained personnel that, okay, give us some money.
Well, you see,
before we even get access. But the police were brought on board and it helped. Yeah. There's no doubt.
Well, you see, this is where, I mean, for me, I think the best form of this thing is prevention.
Absolutely.
I went to the Lagos State buildings, the Lagos State homes, and I was amazed. Every flat has a fire extinguisher, and every, because it's 4 floors, on every floor, in front of the door, there's a bigger fire extinguisher. That tells me that somebody is thinking. Tomorrow, if anything happens, they'll be able to prevent
deal with it straight away.
Because there is no way this market fire would not continue if we keep having clusters of building. Part of my own solution is to actually break down those structures. At least there should be some distance. There's a rule now between building space. This one, you cannot even open your window because when you open your window, it's somebody else's window.
Let me ask what she's saying.
We have a little more time left, so we need to hurry up.
Extinguishers in every house. I think the awareness should go further to show people how to use these things, because there was a car incident of a car burning and we gave the person an extinguisher. She didn't know what to do with it. So people should know. Awareness should. My husband has to do.
There's some even self-igniting fireballs now.
Yes.
You know, that is being, is being encouraged that at least even if you don't know how to use it, just throw it into it. And then we also want to use this opportunity to further enlighten, because really that's the idea, to prevent it. Yeah. So first of all, we want to make sure that cigarette smokers, those who smoke, should please, especially around Harmattan season, do not dispose your cigarette stubs anyhow. It's extremely dangerous. You must quench it and also put it in water. At least try and remove the heat around it. Then secondly, if you ignite or you use matches, you need to also make sure, because a lot of people just do the match and then just throw the stick like that.
That's what I do.
A lot of people do it. In fact, some people have told us, thank you for enlightening us about this. Actually make sure that you have a cup of water or some little damp material to actually quench the heat, because the heat would regenerate. It is enough to regenerate itself. And naturally, we also want to make sure that, please, when you are going to sleep, don't, the fire service director said it yesterday, don't leave your generator on for goodness sake. Switch it off. Make sure that somebody is available where you are cooking. Don't leave cooking facilities or cooking itself unattended, around this kind of period.
A lot of the fires is not just candles or matches.
No.
Electrical faults.
Electrical
faults.
What do we do about those patronize quacks?
I think
because
one
other
thing we need to do, to take up from where the DG stopped, we must advise our people in the market, because one of the factors that exacerbated that fire was storing of PMS and other highly inflammable materials in the market. In the market, they have to stop that. We also found out, when we conducted our risk assessment, we had a lot of mini transformers in that market. So we need to ensure that our people need to desist from that. Then also ensure that they have what we call surge protectors. Because we know that the epileptic supply of power could actually trigger that surge.
So the government should bring light to us.
No. What we are saying is that
of generators.
No, we are not even talking about generator. We are talking about power. Once it comes up, these are some of the preventive measures.
Right, so
yes, you have surge protectors, and then
fire starter.
And then you also ensure that you have a good emergency response plan. There must be routes for evacuation. There must be proper lighting. There must be proper spacing. These are some of the things.
Even in the downfall that you enter, don't enter a downfall that doesn't have way for you to escape. Before you enter the downfall, make sure there is the back door opening.
Do they always have 2 doors?
No, sometimes
there's
the back door. Make sure the back door.
They have the boots, and the boot is always covered by
I always wonder, when I look at the bus, I'm wondering, hey, how would somebody escape? God forbid anything happens. But thank you so much, Ma, for coming.
And we want to encourage people to also please speak up. Don't cover somebody that you see that is doing, practicing a bad habit. Speak up. Because you may be saving your life.
767 112. 767 112.
No. 767 or 112.
767 or 112.
Mariah has done that to a song.
You may not start singing it, they'll remember.
Yes, so it's
thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So please be safe. Me, I've learned that thing. When you do your matches, put in the water. I never knew that.
Yes.
Mariah, get a lighter, please.
I got a lighter.
Even lighters. Lighters. Place them where they can be.
All right. Don't forget to watch a repeat broadcast of this program at 11:30 p.m. tonight. You can also watch previous episodes by going to YouTube/TV Entertainment and search for Your View. Your vote is your right. Hey, INEC will give me my card. Don't waste it. Use it wisely. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.